Okay, from beautiful Southern California, a nice, warm, almost fall day. Almost. Not bad. Pretty good. Sun shining, blue azure sky. Soon there'll be snow on the mountaintops. All from beautiful Southern California, it's the Suzanne Summer Show. And here she is.
Yay! Thank you. I love your introductions, Alan. Hello, everybody. You know, I was just looking at this. We have, when we had realtors here at this house telling us all their great ideas on how this house would sell, one of the things they wanted me to do was turn this into a cabana room rather than a sophisticated living room like I used to have with antique furniture and everything. So I agreed with them. I moved it all out and I made this a cabana room. It's nice because I have a leather sofa here, but it's pleather so that you can sit on it with your bathing suit and your towel and come out of the pool. And actually it was a good idea. So instead of putting art on the walls, we blew up photographs that we like, and there's one over here that I really like, and it's Steve McQueen. Remember Steve McQueen? And I'm looking at him there, and he there was about the age that you were when I met you, don't you think? Didn't everybody in Japan think that you were Steve McQueen?
Oh yeah, 1964, I was there for 3 weeks during the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
And my haircut was exactly like Steve McQueen's.
And your bodies are similar, and you're kind of
and I remember,
swagger.
Yeah, the first night I was there, I flew from Canada, so it was a long flight. And actually, the plane had to land. We were supposed to land in Tokyo, and the plane landed in
top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you.
It's our tequila show Friday night.
That's it.
Date,
okay. And the plane had to land 10 minutes at another city before Tokyo because they were running out of gas.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Oh. But we didn't know that at the time.
On the way back?
No, going there.
Two.
So by the time we got there and I checked into the hotel, I was really wiped out, and I thought, I've heard a lot about these Japanese baths. I'm going to find a Japanese bath. So I asked the concierge. The concierge gave me a little note. I went outside, I gave it to the cab driver, and he drove me to this place where I could have a bath, okay? And why are you looking at me like that? Okay,
I won't tell. Where you're going?
Okay, well, no, it was actually,
Was it a bath?
It was a bath, yeah.
It was nothing else?
I was given a bath, okay? I was given a bath.
I know that you're, when he has a massage, he doesn't like to take his underpants off.
No, that was the first time I ever had a massage.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any different. Once I knew that you were naked, hey, okay.
Yeah, they keep everything covered up. It makes it easier for them. So anyway, go back to the bath.
So I go to this bath,
and
they invite me to take off all my clothes, which I did. And then I went into this very sterile kind of room with tile on everything in the walls, the ceiling, the floor.
Right.
And there was a little stool, I'd say about a foot high, a little wooden stool sitting in the middle of the floor. And I had no idea what it was for. And then these two young ladies walked in. Two wearing white bikini, but they weren't bikinis. It was like white hospital bikinis, okay? And they weren't beach bikinis; they were working bikinis because these were the ladies who were going to give me a bath. Okay, and so I sat.
Go back to Steve McQueen.
I sat. So anyway, one of them said, "Oh, Steve McQueen," and I said, "No, Alan Hamill." "No, Steve McQueen," and I suddenly realized it's good to be Steve McQueen in Japan in the 60s, okay? Because he was a major star.
Yeah, wasn't he though? And so everywhere you went, did you make reservations?
Did I have fun as Steve McQueen? Okay? I'd walk into a bar and they'd buy me a drink, okay? Absolutely. I signed autographs.
You know, I mean, the more famous you are, the more money you have, the less money you have to spend. When you're famous, people want to buy you stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it nice? We went out for dinner last night, and I can't get over how many women read my books, and they kind of are all respectful and wait till our dinner's over and we're leaving, and then I read all your books, and can I have a picture? And It's just so nice. I said to this one woman last night, you know, writing is a lonely experience. And when you're writing these books, you're hoping on the other side of it that something like this will happen. And it happens all the time. So I love when you come up to me and appreciate what I've been able to do for us, which is find the information that now that we have extended life extension, we're going to live longer than humans have ever lived before. And people are routinely living well into their 90s now. But what I write about is quality of life. And so life extension with quality. And quality is, you know, you get to have nice hair and nice skin and not so wrinkled and a lot of energy and a sex drive and happy and not moody and all those great things. So if you haven't read any of my books on hormones, and if you're struggling with the 7 dwarves of menopause, which I call itchy, bitchy, sleepy, sweaty, bloated, forgetful, and all dried up, do yourself a favor, read any one of them. They're all great. The most recent one on hormones is I'm Too Young for This, because most women think they're too young to need hormone replacement. But man, is it a game changer. Both Alan and I started this 25 years ago, and what a game changer it is. Anyway, we've got wonderful things today, and I've got we're going to talk about the gut. I'll tell you, I was looking on Facebook today, and there are doctors giving seminars on the gut, and people talking about the gut and the gut and the gut. And then this friend of mine, I sent a couple of packages of Gut Renew to her. She's a columnist for an important newspaper, and she's going on and on about how she and her boyfriend are feeling so much better since they've been having their smoothies in the morning. And so it's very fulfilling. So anyway, Al, tell them what they can get.
Okay, this is the basic Gut Renew kit. You get the Gut Renew, which is 60 servings, and you also get the 30-day challenge program guide, which Suzanne will show you very shortly.
Yes.
Also, that's not all. Then there's the Gut Renew 30-day challenge essentials kit. And you get the 30-day challenge program guide, you get the 60 servings of Gut Renew, you get the probiotic and the prebiotic. And why don't you explain why you need a prebiotic with a probiotic?
I will, and I kind of want to go through all these supplements in the front here. By the way, this is an interesting smoothie. It's frozen raspberries, 2 scoops of Gut Renew, a half of a raw beet cut up so that it really gets smoosh like this, and coconut milk, and it's so good, and so good for you. And they say beets are the greatest thing for keeping blood pressure down. So, I mean, it's a win-win-win. It's good for your gut, good for your blood pressure. It's great. So, you're going to show those again?
And these are different.
Okay.
Finally, this is the third version. It's the Gut Renew 30-day challenge transformation kit. It comes with all the stuff I've already mentioned. Plus, we added the gentle colon renew, which Suzanne and I love. And we have a nice warm glass of it every night before we go to bed with a cookie. That's what our marriage has come to. A warm glass of gentle colon renew and a cookie.
We get magnesium that way.
That's right. And then you say to me in the middle of the night, I think we have crumbs in the bed. Really? Where did they come from?
That's because the gentle colon renew makes you so sleepy that you're eating the cookie and then you forget about it. And we're watching a series called Bloodline. I really like it. I didn't start out liking it. It was sort of like a little slow, but it's about bloodline, meaning a family, but there's secrets in this family, and you keep paying attention because what's the big secret? There's some big secret, but we keep falling asleep. We slept through probably a couple of episodes last night, so we got to go back to 2 hours worth. Anyway, let me just tell you what all these supplements are. If I always say, if you're only going to take one supplement, you don't want to take handfuls of them, then I would take a probiotic. Probiotic is to keep the microbiome in your GI tract in balance. In our GI tract, we have, I'm doing simple Suzanne speak, the good guys and the bad guys. The probiotic, those are the good guys. The bad guys are just as important as the good guys. Oh, by the way, as long as the ratio is right? You don't want more bad guys and not enough good guys. You don't want too many good guys and not enough bad guys, because one will overtake the other. It's about the balance of the microbiome. So important. And it's so important to keep the GI tract in balance like that, because the gut talks to the brain. There's a gut-brain connection that's really important. They're learning more and more and more about it. And so you can take one a day. Because I've had radiation, because I've had a lot of things that upset and disrupt the gut, I take one in the morning and one at night. And I give one to Alan in the morning, one at night. That way, when he has too many cookies, the bad guys take over, but then the good guys come in. Da-da-da-da. All right. But you want to make your probiotic work better. Then you take a prebiotic. These are good. These are like, what do you call it? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to take that off. They're lozenges. Oh, that was nice, Alan. Alan just burped.
No, I didn't burp. That was a hiccup.
Oh, a hiccup. A prebiotic is, if I take a probiotic, I take a prebiotic. Why? A prebiotic is food for the probiotic, okay? And so in other words, the prebiotic makes your probiotic work better. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So those are those two, and Alan, I'll tell you what everything is, and Alan will explain what the kits are. Then, as you age, and if you've had radiation, as I have had when I had breast cancer, radiation inhibits your body's ability to make hydrochloric acid for life. Nice, they don't tell you that. In fact, after you've had radiation, and then you have all this heartburn and everything, those of you who've had breast cancer or any kind of radiation treatments to your gut, you go to your doctor and go, oh my God, my stomach is burning. Oh, and then they give you this over-the-counter drug that is a Band-Aid. It's never going to cure or heal. It just takes away the symptoms for the day, so you think, oh, I'm feeling better. Or you go to the drugstore and there's probably 200 different antacids that you can take, and for a moment, when you take an antacid, that takes the burning away for a moment, but then it comes back. Then you take more antacids, then it comes back, then you take more and more and more, because it doesn't heal it. What happens is you remember, if you go down the GI tract, you take this left-hand turn into your stomach, which is right under the left boob. I'm dyslexic, I have to figure out which hand I write with. And if there's no hydrochloric acid left in your stomach, either because of age or because of radiation treatments, you have to put back hydrochloric acid. And if you don't do that, then your great food that you're eating, all that great organic food we all talk about, can't get digested properly. And if it can't get digested properly, then it doesn't know where to go in the body to do all its functions. So hydrochloric acid, for me, because I've had radiation, I take 3 with every meal, and that's when I do that, I never have any burning, I never have any reflux, I never have anything like that. It just makes me feel good, and I know that I'm putting back with something that my body once made. We all made hydrochloric acid when we were younger, and then you either got some sickness, some disease, or you aged, and your body stopped making it. As I said over and over and over, there's a central theme in my most recent book, A New Way to Age. Aging is about worn out parts. And so you listen to the language of your body, heartburn, reflux, bloating, gas, constipation, all those things. And then ask yourself, what do you think my body's trying to tell me? Well, one of the things when you've got heartburn and reflux and burning, this burning here, is you want to replace the hydrochloric acid with pepsin, this is the best kind, that your body once made or still makes a little of. When you go and take an antacid, the antacid takes away what little bit of acid you might have in your stomach, which is exactly the opposite of what your body needs. Your body is talking to you through burning and heartburn and reflux because it's saying, I need something, I'm missing something. Aging is about worn out parts. I'm missing something, and what you're missing is this. An antacid is just a Band-Aid. It will never cure. This puts back what your body once made, and you'll really feel different. After you have the meal where you've taken, you probably only need one. Try one. If one takes away all burning and all the discomfort and irritation and things like that, then maybe you need 2, maybe you need 3. You can't hurt yourself with that.
No,
if
but
you
also-
take too many, it'll burn. If it burns, you're taking too many. What?
But also, I mean, if you go to the right doctor,
Uh-huh.
okay, you can get what they call a Heidelberg
Oh,
test.
yeah, yeah.
And this is a test for acid in your stomach. And the way they do it is they take this little pill, and the little pill is really a camera, and it's got a long string attached to it.
It's
and it sounds
creepy.
it sounds like
I
it's going to be.
know. We did it.
Yeah, we did it. You swallow the pill
And
with
then you
the
keep
string,
swallowing and swallowing and
and it goes
swallowing.
into your stomach, okay?
can
And then
feel
your
it go
string's
down.
hanging out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And then you sit in front of a computer, and it
Fascinating.
measures the hydrochloric acid available in your stomach, and then you know exactly how much to take. But the way Suzanne's suggesting it is a really good idea if your doctor doesn't know anything about the Heidelberg.
Not all doctors know about the Heidelberg. We
Yeah.
had ours done in upstate Washington, outside of Seattle. At that time, he was in Tahoma. Where is he now? Dr. Wright?
Pardon me?
Dr. Wright, where's his office now? It's a
Tukwila.
Weird, Tukwila, okay.
Tukwila.
And Dr. Wright, Dr. Jonathan Wright, who I've interviewed in so many of my books. I always say Dr. Wright is always right. Interesting doctor. I love finding doctors like him, and I found so many. There's so many great doctors out there. He's a Harvard twin major. He's a real doctor, but he found that he wasn't pleased with the allopathic only approach. What's allopathic only? That means what they teach in medical school. Here's the problem in the person's body, and here's the drug for that problem. And that's called allopathic. And he wanted to find a way to use, as he terms it, nature's tools. Like, what would nature do in the same situation? So he's the first person who told me about hydrochloric acid. Now, if you take the hydrochloric acid with your meal, near the end of the meal, near the end, then you want to take some digestive enzymes, maybe 1. For me, I need 3. Maybe you only need 1. Start with 1. So the hydrochloric acid allows your food to be digested, so all that good organic food and quality food and real food and non-processed, non-GMO food now is going, the brain is going, oh, well, that's good, I can use that, I'll send that over here, and I'll send that to this gland and that to this organ. Then near the end of the meal, what our bodies do, if we're still making them, but then again, with age, as we get older, aging is about worn out parts, we stop making sufficient digestive enzymes. Enzymes are so important. Enzymes at the end of the meal now take all the good nutrients and the food that you're eating through this meal and digest them so that it goes through your small intestines easier. Okay, and then that night when you get into bed, put a spoonful of gentle colon, is it Renew? Renew. Gentle colon Renew in a cup of warm water. It fizzes up. It tastes like a lemony warm tea. It's so good. It's loaded with magnesium. Magnesium, it makes you calm, makes you poop, makes you go to sleep. You go to sleep with magnesium. That's why Alan and I take 2 or 3 Epsom salt baths together every week, because all that magnesium in the Epsom salts, I don't think we can get enough magnesium. There are over 750 functions in the body that require magnesium, and most people aren't getting any magnesium. So this Gentle Colon Renew is great. And then the last thing is, if this is the one, this is the probiotic that we make, and this is the one until we had trouble during the pandemic getting all of our supplements because you couldn't get supplies, you couldn't get workers to work to make the supplies. But anyway, these are the kit. But I don't know, Alan, what goes with what kit? Can you help me?
Certainly.
Okay.
Okay.
I love when he helps me. I
Okay.
love you, Al.
So I love you. I'm going to start with the Gut Renew
Yeah.
30-day basic challenge basic kit. You get the Gut Renew 60 servings. You get the
Is
30.
that one bag?
I don't know how many bags that is.
Let me see.
Okay, but it's 60 servings.
Okay.
You get the well, this is the basic kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And you get the 30-day challenge program guide, which is beautiful with great pictures showing you exactly how to make these smoothies, how to make great smoothies. Also,
we have one every single morning. every single morning, Al and I, at 9 o'clock, we're very regimented. We have our Gut Renew smoothie, and we both take a lot of supplements. It makes it so easy to get the supplements down because I can't take supplements on an empty stomach, and it's thick. You can see here, this is our raspberry, beet, and coconut milk smoothie here. It's so good.
You know what I do with the pills you give me in the morning to take? I dump them into the smoothie.
You do?
I do.
No.
Yeah, so this is the...
You do?
Yeah, this is the Essentials
You
Kit.
never told me that.
No, I do it. It's easy. And this also has the probiotic,
Do
the
they melt?
prebiotic, and the 30-day challenge program guide.
Do they melt in the smoothie?
Pardon me?
Do they melt your
No,
supplements you put in
I
it?
drink them right away, and it's great.
Oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
do that.
It's better
Because I
than...
love the hair, skin, and nails supplement that we make, but I like capsules better. And since I broke my neck this year, things get stuck in my throat, and the hair, skin, and nails are a little hard for me to get down, but I get them down. But maybe if I put them in my smoothie.
Yep.
And
So
what's this, Al?
this is the best deal of all.
Uh-huh.
This is the Gut Renew 30-day challenge transformation kit.
Oh.
Okay, comes with the probiotic, the prebiotic, the gentle colon renew. Retail is $4.24. It's on sale for $2.74 at SuzanneSummers.com.
And
This is
how
a
much
great
off
one.
is that?
Oh,
You don't know. Oh.
I'm going to do my math.
Well, you're
here.
a math whiz. I'm not.
Okay, so let's
One of the
see,
reasons I
274,
married Alan Hamill is he's
374.
incredible with numbers. I'm awful with numbers. I can tell you how the body works. I
So it's-
absolutely understand how the human body works in almost all the areas, but oh God.
Okay, so
Can't
the
count.
transformation kit is like $150 discount.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I can read you what's in the Gut Renew, and
It'll take you till Tuesday.
it's everything you haven't had today, because these are things that are not like in our daily menu, but wow, it's all, I give you a few of the ingredients. To most of you, I'm preaching to the choir, because you already love it. 4 organic plant-based proteins, sprouted fermented pea protein. Have you had any of that today? No. Sprouted fermented rice protein, hemp protein. Haven't had any of that? No. Sasha Inchi protein? No. We have 5 phyto greens: chlorella, spirulina, young alfalfa sprouts, barley grass, wheatgrass. Had that? Probably not. 5 gut health nutrients: digestive enzymes, probiotic fermented blend, prebiotic Jerusalem or artichoke trifala blend, marshmallow extract powder. Had that? No. No. Even though you're going, whoa, why do I need digestive enzymes and the probiotic? You want more than that, than what's in here to get the full effect. Probably better I don't put my glasses in my eye, right? Okay, 5 immune support boosters: ginger, turmeric, sea buckthorn, Ceylon cinnamon, shiitake mushroom. You might have had some of those today. 8 phyto fruits and vegetables blend: beetroot, carrot, kale, spinach, acai, apple, grape, broccoli sprout, all kind of great stuff. 61 different sea minerals, trace levels of over 50 minerals, including more magnesium and more zinc, because zinc's very important, and natural flavor and sweetener, vanilla and stevia. It's loaded. It's loaded with stuff, and I love describing the GI tract. How did I get like this? I don't know. I really loved being Chrissy Snow. That was the most fun thing, and then I loved being a Las Vegas headliner, and now I have this, and I'm unpacking my office that I've been in now for 45 years upstairs here in my bedroom suite, and the last thing I have not packed is my university body model. It was my Christmas present that I asked for many years ago. That's all I wanted, because you can take the whole body apart, and I have from the thighs up, and so you can completely take apart the gut. When you take apart the gut with these plastic body parts, then you see, if there's a clog right there, then that food's not going to be able to go there. That's how I started to understand what was wrong. I had all this burning here. I didn't understand radiation damage yet, and the radiation damaged my gastric sphincter. And that's the little, the sphincter that opens and closes so your food can go down and be released. but the radiation just it like burned it, and it had no elasticity, and so my food was getting stuck, and it was uncomfortable. And so I look at my university body model, and I go, there's where the problem is. And that's how a lot of these products have happened, because when you study the inside of the body, you can see where, if that's clogged up here, then you're going to feel crappy over there. You know, we're a system. Everything's connected to everything. So, I don't know, this is where I get off. I still want to go. I have this firm determination that when I am 80 years old, my husband will make a deal for me at my favorite hotel in Las Vegas, and I will have a residency. I'd like to have a residency for a couple of years in my 80s. I think that's so cool. I remember when I was full-time working in Vegas, Debbie Reynolds had a residency, and wasn't she about 80 when she was
She was
doing
probably
that?
in her 80s, yeah.
And I used to think, how's she doing it? And now I think she's doing it because it gives her life, her zest, her energy. And, you know, as an entertainer, you don't get worse as you get older. You get better, because for me as an entertainer, when I walk out in front of an audience, when I walk out in front of you, I am old enough now I can pick up the vibe in the room. I can feel you. And sometimes I walk out and I just sort of walk the stage back and forth, and then I'll just ask a question, but I can feel that somebody's wondering. And I'll say something like, 74. Because you know they're thinking, how old is she? But my one-woman Broadway show, I loved. I walked out in high heels and a turtleneck leotard with legs cut up real high. It was the cheapest opening outfit ever, and it looked so cool. And I just walked the stage back and forth, and I said, let me ask you something. And then I just started this dialogue with them, and it was so great. God, I love that. We both loved producing Broadway, didn't we?
That was a great
It was
experience.
so great, so great. And every night at the stage door on 42nd Street, no, was it 42nd or 47th?
7th.
7th, yeah. At the
Brooks
Brooks
Atkinson.
Atkinson, the best theater on Broadway, I think. All of you would be outside the stage door. You'd be 10, 20, 30 deep. And I just stayed until I signed everything you wanted to sign. I have such gratitude for all of you. I really do. I never understood stars who are irritated by their, I hate to use the word fans, but I'm using it advisedly, people who show up for you. And I never understood stars who are irritated with the paparazzi. I always, from the very beginning, realized the importance of the paparazzi, and that between the celebrity and the paparazzi, it's a dance. They need me as much as I need them. And so rather than being irritated by them, I learned everybody's name. In the first year, I learned every photographer's name. And one, I used to go, hey, Ron, how you doing? And, you know, when our house burned down, and everything burned, everything, every picture, every letter, I had beautiful letters. I had letters from President Reagan. I had letters from President Bush. I had one from Bill Clinton. But I think every well-known woman in America probably's got a Bill Clinton letter. Barbara Walters. I'm just skimming the surface. I was thinking, oh, what a shame. Anyway, one day after the fire, this package arrives, and it's the guy, a paparazzi, one of the most famous of all paparazzi. His name is Ron Galella, and I didn't know he was the most.
He was the guy.
He was the guy, but I didn't know when I was being nice to all the photographers.
No, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah, but I always looked at him, and everybody thought he wasn't, because Jacqueline Kennedy sued him because she just hated the stalker, and she didn't have the same kind of. Her life was different than my life, no kidding. And in arrives this package, and it's every single picture Ron Galella ever took of me.
A few hundred.
Or more.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine what that meant to me. And when next time we were in New York, we went to see him, and I said, I don't even know where to begin to thank you. So I think kindness begets kindness. What you put out is what you get back. And genuine begets genuine, and you just put out kindness and your genuine self, and that's what you'll get back. So Wasn't that a beautiful thing? It almost made the fire worth it, except for your Tom Ford leather jacket.
Oh, yeah. I
He
miss those
still
leather.
misses
Oh, I
that,
miss
yeah.
I didn't miss anything else in the house. I missed the Tom Ford leather jackets that he designed when he was at Gucci.
I missed the letters. I had in the safe my handwritten first draft
Yeah.
of Keeping Secrets. That was was actually my second bestseller. My first bestseller was
Eat Great, Lose Weight.
No, the poetry
Keeping
book, Touch
Secrets.
Me, Touch Me.
Pardon?
Touch Me was my
Touch
first
Me,
bestseller.
right. That was 73.
Yeah, 73. And then my next book, which was a huge bestseller, I always thought I was all alone in the world, that as a child an alcoholic, and I am pretty much responsible for starting the Adult Children of Alcoholics movement for the people like me who didn't drink alcoholically but weren't right. I don't know, those of you who are children of alcoholics, that like I would never drink till I was drunk. I would never drink till I passed out or blacked out. It's just not, I don't have the gene. And so many in my family had that. It tends to run in the Irish families. And Keeping Secrets, I wrote by hand. I didn't have a computer yet. There were no cell phones yet. And I wrote and wrote and wrote. Remember that trip to Europe that summer?
Yeah.
Alan had to carry all this Pierre de garment bag around all the time with pounds and pounds of papers. So the first draft, handwritten, and then scratched out and inked out and everything, was over 1,000 pages. But that, when you type it, it went down to be a 300-page book. But I'd always wanted to leave that to my son, and he could either leave that to a university or something like that, because nobody handwrites books anymore. And that burned. I remember watching our house burning on the TV set. That's a surreal experience. I'm watching it burning, and both Alan and I are in front of the TV like this, and then we watch my car blow up. But I remember one of the things I thought about was, oh, that manuscript is in that house. Oh, all those letters. And then Alan kept money in the safe. He's, paranoid. And he just always wants to have getaway money.
If you need money,
you know what,
you
I love
got
it. I love that you do that. You're a visionary and you plan ahead, and I love that part of you. I love every part of you, but I love that. You're always
There's going to be a
anticipating.
but. I can tell there's going to be a but.
No, there isn't.
No but?
This is a total
Okay.
compliment.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so we had a fireproof safe. So in that fireproof safe, I put my 1,000-page manuscript, I put my jewelry, I put all the letters were in there, just a lot of that kind of stuff. And Alan put money. He also, because he has a concealed carry permit, he also stored his ammunition in the safe. Of all the smartness of Alan Hamill,
I know what you're going to
I
say.
have quite never understood
I know
why
what you're
he
going to
put
say.
bullets
It's
in the
okay.
safe.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say.
When burglar guys at the front door, you go,
your
just a
burglar
minute,
guy,
let
yeah,
me-
right.
let
Okay, I
me
have to
do
go to the
this.
safe. Yeah, just hang out there. I know you're going to say that.
Well, I'm sorry.
But it
You're
wasn't.
almost 100%.
No, but it wasn't all
What?
my ammo.
Okay, but it was a lot of it.
Well,
Let's agree with that.
it-
Here's my point.
It was what wasn't available instantly.
Okay. Here's my point. When your house burns down, remember this in the future. Hope none of you ever have to experience that. If the fire is hot enough, your fireproof safe doesn't last 4 hours.
Well, this was a 4-hour safe.
Yeah, it doesn't last 4 hours.
No, and actually our house burned down in less than 2 minutes because it
And
exploded. The
it
gas line exploded,
Yeah.
and the fire department was maybe 100 yards down the street.
Yeah. Too
They
late.
got to our house and kept going.
Mm.
So it was unbelievably hot.
So
Unbelievably hot.
it was a beach house. The floor collapsed. The room that had the safe in it, because it was only a 1-floor house, the safe drops into the sand. So when all the ashes, cooled off, we had people helping us dig things out of the sand. And there was the safe. Oh, good. Fireproof. Oh, good. All our stuff is in there. So Alan had to hire a safe cracker. Do you want to come over and tell them about the safe cracker?
Okay.
You'll tell it better than me.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you, those who don't know him, but most of you do, my adorable husband, who I adore. I absolutely adore him, Alan Hamill.
Who has a safe cracker story?
Yeah, it's a safe cracker.
Okay,
So tell what
okay.
happened, yeah.
So the fire burned
Oh,
off.
you smell good. Do you have coconut oil on?
No?
Yeah, you do. You don't realize
I
it.
do?
Is that from this morning? Did you put it on?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, the coconut
No, I put
syrup.
on the Manuka honey.
Oh, is that what I'm
Oh, the
smelling?
Manuka
Oh, wow,
honey.
wow.
It's
Yeah, I'm having,
moisturizing.
I'm getting a lot of you writing me about the
Yeah.
Manuka honey. Anyway, safe cracker guy, right.
So the fire burned off the handle on the safe and also the thing, the dial. So there was no way to get into the safe. So I go online and I Google safe cracker and up comes a bunch of safe
Yeah.
crackers.
Did you know that's a business?
And I look at this one, I don't know why, but I like this guy. So he comes over and he walks in.
Tattoos everywhere.
Oh yeah, a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
A lot of tattoos. And I show him the safe and he takes out a drill. He drills a hole in the safe, in the door of the safe. Then he takes the thing about this long, it's like a pencil, but there's a camera at the end of the pencil and
Sort
a
of like the
little
Heidelberg
light.
for your
He
acid.
goes
yeah.
down in there so he can look in the safe and see what's there. And then once he knows what's in there, he takes a hammer and like a chisel kind of thing, and he goes, BAM! And the door opens. And I said to him, wow, that took you less than 5 minutes. I said, is that common to all safes? He said, well, he said, they call me from Washington every so often
DC?
because those big walk-in digital safes mess up and they don't know how to get into them.
At the
He
Federal
said,
Building?
I can get in there, probably, it takes me 20 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. So no matter if you got the greatest safe in the world, it's not safe.
Okay, so he opens it up. Fireproof safe, right?
Oh, I can't be around for this one, okay?
So the first thing we see is Alan's money. It's all charcoal. It's gone. It's just money burned. And then my manuscript burned. My jewelry burned. My letters burned. All his ammunition was gone. I can't even remember, because those are the things that mattered the most to me. I can't even remember what else was in there, but nothing in the safe was salvaged. But you know what? It was interesting losing everything. I mean, I don't wish this on you, and I don't, if you don't ever have to go through this, great. But you know what I learned? I learned about letting go of attachment. And it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, that jacket you're missing, it's gone. That necklace you loved, it's gone. The letters you liked, they're gone. The manuscripts, it's all gone. Remember this designer, Richard Tyler, called me, because I had, in the 80s, I had a little money and I bought a lot of his clothes. And he called me and goes, oh, did the chainmail dress go? I said, yeah, Richard. He said, did the outfit we made for getting your star on the Walk of Fame go? I said, yes. He goes, did the velvet robe coat go? I said, yes. And he went through about 10 things. I said, Richard, it's all gone. It's all gone. And the sound in his voice, because he handmade these clothes, and they were his art pieces. And I realized, as much as beautiful as they were, and as much as I loved wearing them, for him, I was wearing his art. And so I guess he had to go through letting go of attachment. But once I let it all go, I don't know about you, but here I am, 74, about to be 75 in October, which I'm looking forward to. I don't want much, do you? I just like getting tops for the show, you know, cute little tops. You like this top? It's cute. Yeah, I like getting tops and things like that, but I don't have any desire anymore to amass a bunch of stuff, especially now that we're moving out of this house. Oh, those of you who've moved, man, is this not for sissies? And the more I can get rid of and throw out and give away. And we have a lot of homeless shelters here in the desert, so I've been sending quilts and blankets. I figure if you don't have anything, wouldn't you love to have a quilt? and
A quilt and a blanket.
and a blanket.
In
I'm
Palm
getting
Springs
pillows.
when it's 120 degrees.
I know, but if you're sleeping on a mountain, even if you don't put it over, you can put it under you. It's just, there's so many people who have nothing. And so as I'm looking around this house that I've been in for 45 years, and I think, and I'm complaining about all our stuff, and I think, stop complaining, Suzanne. You have a lot of stuff. Do you know how fortunate you are to have had all this stuff? And now that I'm ready to unload, I want to move into our new house so uncluttered. I don't want a bunch of stuff. I don't want, people are wanting to give me things. I'm going, no, don't give me anything. I want to live going forward, my next chapter, because life is about chapters, uncluttered, cleaner, lighter. Think about your clothes. Because I was thinking about my clothes the other day.
I use 5% of my wardrobe.
You do. And
Yeah.
I use, I mean, I have so many clothes. But I have a professional wardrobe, so I need more clothes than you do. But what we really wear are about 10 great outfits, 10 things that you have that you go, that top, that bottom, that thing, those shoes, that purse. Gosh, would I love to move into our new house and just put in my 10 favorite things. It won't happen. It won't happen. I'm not that emotionally healthy. But man, would that be cool? That'd be so
there's
cool.
an equation.
Yeah, can I have some more ice in my
Certainly.
drink here? Thank you.
There's an equation. The more space you have to store stuff, the more stuff you store.
And you know, as I've been throwing away and giving away and cleaning out, what's in my closet, I've pared it down as much as I can. And I still have way too much.
I'm also the bartender,
And you're the bartender.
the cameraman,
He's
producer,
you're so darling.
the co-host. What else am I?
You're my favorite person on the planet. Other than that.
But this, you know what? It's the two of us here, and then it's Caroline at the end of the
Yeah,
telephone.
she's on vacation.
She's on vacation.
Yeah, I'm so happy for them.
So it's really just the three of us.
Yeah.
And the reason we don't have slick graphics that pop on the screen, but I hold them up with my thumb and my forefinger.
It's because you're cheap.
Is because I'm cheap. And we want to give
Alan
you,
has never wasted a penny.
we want to give you great discounts.
Yeah, yeah.
So in doing
Yeah.
so,
We don't
have
spend
to-
money on graphics
That's
or
right.
things like that.
And we have a company that's name is ELO, and which doesn't stand for, it does, but it's not for Electric Light Orchestra. It's for extraordinarily low overhead. True, okay?
I love the way you've managed our business.
Okay, thank you.
I think you're wonderful.
Thank you. I think you're wonderful too.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, you're great. Heidi.
Heidi. I wake up in the morning, my hair's all over the place. He goes, "Good morning, Heidi." I don't know. Everybody's afraid of aging. I don't know. With each chapter, and I now realize that life is cut up into chapters. I'm in my 7th chapter, I guess. I've liked every chapter, even the bad chapters. My childhood. Thank you. My childhood. One would not say, "Well, wasn't that great?" But what I did, that was where I became who I am. That was when I learned to survive. That's when I got what I call the all show use. I love my father. He's been gone a long time, and he had a terrible disease called alcoholism. It made him do and be and act terribly, terribly. And I've written about it. You can read Keeping Secrets. If you want to know, if you want to relate, you can read my book, Keeping Secrets, which still sells. It was written, what was that, 1970?
1989.
89. Really? Was it that late? Huh. And it's still relevant. But you have to look at the chapters of your life as maybe hard going and maybe not pleasant, but sometimes we need to go through that to find out who we are. I say this all the time. The big questions in life are, who am I? What do I want? And what's my purpose? Can you answer that? Most people go to their grave never being able to answer even one of those. Who am I? What do I want? And what's my purpose? A few weeks ago, I went to the funeral of my 97-year-old cousin Betty, and I said that. her daughter asked me if I would speak at the funeral. I said, of course. So the night before at the funeral home, everybody spoke, but she didn't want me to speak. The next day in the cathedral is when I spoke. I was the only one who spoke, and I thought, wow, there's such a difference between speaking in the funeral home or speaking by yourself in the cathedral. It's all echoey and everything. But I was able to, because these are all people who love this 97-year-old woman, I said, she knew who she was. She had what she wanted. And her purpose was to teach all of us what unconditional love is. And as I said it, I didn't even know I was going to say those words. As I said it, I thought, yeah, she didn't have a bad bone in her body like my mother. I never heard my mother say anything bad about anybody except my father. But she deserved that because he would just act so terribly. Anyway, to just wrap up on my father, he wrote me a letter. Don't you want that letter from your dad or your person who brought grief into your life? And
or your mother.
Or your mother. I said that person. And apologized for what his disease did and the effect it had on me and our life. Wow. There is nothing more healing than a true, heartfelt apology. I think the fight that Alan and I used to have in the first 10 years of our marriage, I'd go, why can't you just say I'm sorry? He'd go, okay, I'm sorry. I go, no, not like that. We women know this. I go, yeah, you have to say it with meaning. Go, okay, I'm sorry. And then it was sarcastic. I go, no. When you look at the other person, you say, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, or whatever or nothing. I'm really sorry.
Actually, it wasn't during the first 10 years of our marriage.
When was it?
It was the first 9 years of us living together.
Oh, before we got married.
Right.
Actually, once we got married, Alan and I were as a lot of you are, if you're our ages, we were of the first generation of divorce. When I was a kid, nobody got divorced. They just stayed unhappily married forever, and at the funeral said, goodbye, you rotten son of a bitch, and good luck. But we, of our generation, Alan and I, and those of you who are in our age grade.
Goodbye, you son of a
bitch. Well, if you had to stay with somebody you didn't want to be with your whole life because nobody got divorced, it'd be like, good riddance, okay.
I think most people who reach a point in their relationship where they've taken, different roads and are separate, I think mainly it's a problem of finances.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really hard to go from from one house shared by two people to two houses shared that are individually supported by two people.
About in our employee
right.
of 35 years,
That's
he stayed
right.
in such an unhappy marriage because of that. You could have paid him more. No, he did. He paid him well. Alan pays everybody in our employ really well and takes good care of them and full health insurance and the way it's supposed to be. These are the people in our employ and our company are invaluable. Can't do it without them. I compliment whenever it is apparent it should be complimented, and so does he. So, anyway, a heartfelt apology is so healing. And life is about healing, and love is about healing. Okay, what are you going to show them, Al?
Well, I'm just going to go through the basic kits again.
And I just want to tell everybody, try making this beet. The raw beets, frozen raspberries, gut renew, and coconut milk. It's so good and so healthy. Okay, go on.
Okay. This is kit number 1. This is the 30-day challenge basic kit. It's got 60 servings of gut renew and the 30-day challenge program guide, which is beautifully produced.
Yeah.
And the retail value is $295. You get it for $200. That's a $95 discount at SuzanneSummers.com.
And here's the program, the guide, and it's got all the recipes in here for the different smoothies. My favorite smoothie, my absolute favorite, is the peanut butter chocolate, chocolate almond milk, frozen bananas. Yeah. You know when your bananas are just starting to get black spots on them? Don't let them rot. Take them just when they start with the spots. peel them, cut them into small pieces, put them in a Ziploc bag, freeze them. Then when you make your smoothie, you throw a handful of those frozen bananas, that's your ice cubes, and then you put in a spoonful of 70% powdered chocolate. Then you pour in chocolate almond milk, coconut milk, and whatever else you can think of. And there's no right or wrong way to make this. Oh my God, peanut butter. 2 spoons of peanut butter. I love that. Don't you love that one?
I love it.
It's my favorite. I could have it every day.
Or with almond butter.
Or it doesn't matter, yeah. If you had it every day, you'd start getting tired of it. And I don't want to get tired of it. Try
Crunchy. Okay, here's the kit number 2 for Gut Renew 30-Day Challenge. This is the Essentials Kit, and it's got all the stuff I mentioned earlier, 60 servings, probiotic, prebiotic, retail value, $3.85, sale, $2.50. Okay, great deal. And
what?
There's one more. It's the Gut Renew 30-Day Challenge Transformation Kit. Okay, it's got everything in there that I mentioned, plus we've added Gentle Colon Renew. One of my big, one of my favorites. Okay.
Well, if it makes you sleep, it makes you
That's
poop,
right.
it makes you calm.
That's right.
I mean, it's a win-win-win-win.
Yep.
Win.
Retail value $4.25, sale $2.75. That's a $150 discount.
There are 2 more things I want to drive home before we end the show, because I realize, wow, we're almost at the end of the hour.
Yep.
You're only as healthy as your gut. If your gut isn't healthy, you are not healthy. If your gut's not healthy, your brain is being affected.
Well, you know, most of the doctors you have interviewed have said most disease starts in the gut. Yeah.
Do you know where autoimmune starts?
Yeah.
MS, fibromyalgia, what's the third? It'll come to me in a minute. They all start in the gut. My mother had macular degeneration. She had 2% peripheral vision. Tragic. She could hardly see anything. And I remember interviewing Dr. Wright, and he's the first one. He said, well, you know, because I'm thinking, I sure don't want to get macular degeneration. Is it hereditary? He said, well, you know, macular degeneration starts in the gut. I said, in the gut? I'm talking about her eyes. He goes, yes, in the gut. And he said, it's from, how about that? A lack of hydrochloric acid. Now think about it. You don't get macular degeneration generally as a young person. When do you get it? You get it when you're older, right? If you've got gut issues and you're starting to think about your eyes, you might try. I cannot say this cures, it does anything. I'm just saying it supports healthy eyes, and it's just, we need hydrochloric acid. Our body makes it. It's something that's made in our bodies. You might want to give that a try. Because of my mother, and because I've had radiation and breast cancer, I do not go out to dinner without. I keep a bottle of this in the car, so I always have it if we go out for dinner. It's that important to me, and I give it to Alan with every meal too. And Alan has had gut issues all his life, gluten intolerance and all that, and he used to burp a lot, like that. Do you know?
No, that's called hiccuping.
Do you realize when I give you, and you take it, and I appreciate that you take it.
I don't burp, I hiccup.
Okay. Every meal, I always go, Al, and he puts his hand out, and I put his hydrochloric acid in his stomach. Okay, so there's that. The other thing that I want to talk to you about is, I can't remember.
Let me play the Jeopardy music while you're thinking.
No, don't do that. It'll just distract me. I was on a roll. By the way, our baby birds are gone.
Good distraction. Look at the shiny object over here.
That's true. I promise you, if
You'll
you
remember.
come back to me on Monday.
You know what I think in the middle of the night when you wake up?
I will.
You say, okay, I got it.
I know.
Okay, so you know what we should do?
You know what it was last night?
No,
we said it at the same time.
Right.
We went, Sissy Spacek.
That's right.
We're watching this woman on Bloodline,
Right.
and I'm going, oh, God, what's her name? She won Academy Awards, and she's such a great actress. And what's her name? And that went on for a couple of nights ago for about an hour, and then
we both woke up.
And we both woke up and went, Sissy Spacek at the same time.
Okay, so
Anyway,
once you
I have
remember,
one more thing to teach you, but
Okay.
I can't remember it, so I
Okay.
will on Monday because I will remember it by
Okay,
Monday.
no, now, when you remember this in the middle of the night,
Yeah,
either tonight
we'll write it down.
or tomorrow.
We'll write it down.
No, we can go live with Instagram and Facebook, okay?
From bed?
From anywhere.
I guess we could.
Yeah, we could,
I guess
okay?
we could.
And then
But tonight you're taking me out for dinner.
and then
now, aren't you?
people will be awakened and go, "Oh my God, what's going on? What happened? What's happened?" Okay, and then you can announce the thing I forgot to talk to you about.
Yeah, it was something spiritual.
Yeah.
It was not. I wanted to drive home the importance of if you got gut issues. I'm so proud of this product. We had to, as of late, and now we're having to do it again, order another 72 tons of it. That's how effective and popular this is. There, you know, you look online, everybody's talking about the gut, and I just get so frustrated when they interview doctors and scientists and say, why do you think people have such gut problems? And they go all over the place, and I'm yelling at the TV ad going, because of the environmental assault, the chemicalization of us. It never happened before we put poison on our food and pesticides on our food and genetically modified food and over-the-counter drugs and all the, people stopped eating real food, organic food. If you can pick it, pluck it, milk it, or shoot it, it's good for you as long as it's organic. Don't eat crap food. Crap food is going to do you no good. It does not serve you well. And so it took a long time for me and probably for all of us to learn that simple thing: don't eat crap food. So this is the answer to the stupidity we all did. I included. I ate crap food too. I was on series for 17 years, and they have what they call a craft table backstage. It should be called a crap table.
Right.
It's got chips
Crap.
and
It's all
dips and
crap.
things dipped with orange powder. There's not one bit of real food on this. And when you're on a TV set and you're going to go on in a minute, you sit there and you eat while you're talking to someone about the next scene. You're listening to the audience and you're just eating mindlessly. How much of that did I do? And that's where, for me, breast cancer was my gift. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but it was my gift because it was me having to face myself of, what have I done to play host to this terrible disease? And then when I really looked myself in the eye, I thought, you ate crap off that craft table. You didn't control your thoughts. You allowed negative thinking. You didn't value sleep. You stayed up late writing books rather than reviving and nurturing yourself through sleep. So I changed my life. I changed the way I ate. I changed the way I thought. I eat organic food only. I won't eat crap food anymore. So here is my offering, my answer to you for a GI tract that is rebelling. Try it. It tastes great. My stomach is in great shape now. I don't have any GI issues. We have this every single morning, and we will always have it every single morning. That's how we get our supplements down. And I want to show you my husband's beautiful flat stomach. Here he is, an 85-year-old man.
You can't show my flat stomach.
No, I can. Look at this. Look at him. He's so beautiful.
Well, you can feel my flat stomach.
I won't show it. I
No,
feel
if you pull
it,
my
though.
shirt up, it won't be so flat.
Oh, it will. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Anyway,
You know,
bless you.
I don't
Yeah.
like women with flat stomachs.
He does. Isn't that the greatest thing? He likes
don't.
that we have a little poof.
I don't.
You're so
I
perfect.
like women with have just a
You're
little,
so perfect.
a little like a
Oh, I love you.
little chili bowl stomach.
Yeah.
Okay, like
Chili bowl.
yeah.
Oh, a chili bowl. I get to eat a little more. And you're going to take me out for dinner now, aren't you? Okay. All right, everybody. Good night. I just want to say one thing. It's not who you are. It's not what you do. It's not what you have. It's only about who you love and who loves you. And I love you. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
And I'd like to say something.
Please do.
A wet bird never flies at night. Remember that. And as the cameraman, good night.